when we moved into this house in October, it was just me and Mike. And the house had sat empty for 2 years, so it was full of rat shit and dust. It was a terrible thing. We all do our own things, you know, like kind of everyone contributes to the house and the organization as a whole. Go slow, basically right after this barn, there's a driveway to the right. Yeah, and it's peaceful here too. That's why I like it. I'm Nathan Lewis, and been one of the founding members of Veteran Sanctuary. The Veteran Sanctuary is a group we just started up. We're a nonprofit, and we're focusing on healing veterans, and we're trying to do that as like a community group. We're going to try to live together, work together. We farm. Oh, he's out! How'd you get out? This one always gets out. And I think we just like to dig. We like, you know, it's between, you know, just digging raised beds, and maybe it's from the military, maybe it's from the Army. I joined the Army after I graduated from high school, and I was in basic training September 11th, 2001. So it was like my first week, and went to Iraq in 2003, March. My experience there, that really kind of shaped my opinion against the war. And I could see how we were becoming kind of a harmful, occupying force.
I mean, I hated everybody, you know. I found a crew of a couple good friends that I really respected and trusted, and other than that, for a long time, you know, basically why I'm here still, why I'm at the sanctuary, is because I can't, when I work, I get so angry with people and people spending money and just looking around me, you know, college kids, and just like how things go on campuses and around the country. It's just been so disgusting and disturbing to see everyone spending money and talking on their cell phones and chatting on Facebook, and it's been really hard to keep my cool during everything.
I joined the Army when I was 20 years old because, like so many others, I couldn't afford college. I was going to join with my best friend Nick, and we were trying to decide what service to go into. And the Army recruits happened to call that same day and said there was free donuts. And I was about 240 pounds at the time, and free donuts was a pretty good enticement to get in the door.
A lot of it was the money side. I mean, $250,000 plus in education, plus book money, stipend, housing. I don't have to pay for any of this kind of thing. It's covered. So that was nice, because there's no way in hell I would get an education like this through paying it by my own means. Right now, I kind of consider ROTC like playing Army. You go into the real Army, that's a 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year obligation and commitment. It's a lifelong choice that could have devastating repercussions.
This is your AFN Afghanistan Freedom Watch update. I'm Senior Airman Jared Watson. Soldiers.
My thoughts and opinions about our involvement in the Middle East. I guess as an active duty military member, my thoughts and opinions I think are as difficult to express as I guess anyone's.
I hated the war from the get-go. I wasn't a big supporter of it before I went in, especially a war that's based on lies and stealing, and has been just so hugely wrong and bad for all of these poor, innocent people.
Sometimes people just don't care. Sometimes they're just very ignorant of the situation. People were making the connection between the attack on September 11th and Saddam.
I think originally it was not like just after 9/11.
Because of 9/11.
I don't know the exact reason why recently we invaded, but
Well,
I'm still thinking it's oil.
I think it has something to do with 9/11.
I think they did it because of the terrorist attacks.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Oil.
I feel like, quite honest, I'm kind of ignorant about what's going on right now.
I really got my dog on a whim. One of the first dogs I saw, I was like, that one, that's my dog, that's gonna be my dog. He just looked up at me and I was like, we made this like connection. He essentially means the world to me. He is my baby. I take care of him. I bathe him every week. We go on runs or walks 3 times a day. Like, he is everything. Stand up. You're okay, you're just gonna be wet. Yeah, I guess having a dog made me a little more, I guess paternal is the word. There's people outside, whatever, they're probably drunk, having a good time, good for them. But for me, it's like that's what I have to protect. Like, that part is tough for me, and I wish that people were more cognizant of that fact that they're granted all these freedoms, all these rights, and they don't come free, they don't come cheap, they don't come easy.
There's a lot of vets now, and there's a lot of people coming back kind of lost and seriously damaged and not getting the help they need.
If somebody said they didn't have any fears, then they're lying to you.
My unit and the rest of the people that were down in Gitmo, we just said, these people are fucking terrorists, and we treated them as such. We beat the shit out of them. We sprayed them with mace basically every day. We did that without ever asking ourselves why those people were there.
I'm worried about coming home and being a completely different person. I'm worried about coming home and missing half my body. There's so much that goes through your head, and I'd be the last person to say I'm scared of anything or I'm worried about anything, but hell yeah, I'm scared about going overseas.
The day I decided that I never wanted to go back to Afghanistan was the day that I saw death up close for the first time. We air assaulted or helicoptered into a village called Barj Matal, which is in Nuristan province, Afghanistan. They surrounded us on 3 sides and opened fire when we were on the rooftops. And many of us were either injured, not myself, luckily, and several were killed. This guy, Eric Livingston, he got shot and shot dead. And probably the worst experience I've ever had to deal with was having to carry his body to the helicopter with a sniper fire just raining down on us and just having his blood just covering my uniform, seeping from his body bag. And I actually had the blood on my body armor for the rest of the deployment, and I refused to scrub it off until I left. That was the worst day of my life.
This culture of it's just a job. I'm doing what I told. It's not my position to question the war. You know, I'm just a lowly old citizen. I joined up. I signed my name on the line, so you know, I can't question. I can't speak out. You know, and you know, that's just nonsense.
I've never had the wool pulled over my eyes on anything in the military. I think that if you educate yourself and work to be a good military member, then that shouldn't happen to anyone. If you act as a blind sheep, that's kind of your own fault, whether you're a civilian or a military member, I guess. You know?
Because I'm in the Army, I have to sacrifice. I have to give up these things that everybody else takes for granted. I have to be 4,000 miles away from my home, away from everything I know. You can't understand that, I guess, that sacrifice. And it's tough to say at this point whether or not it's all going to be worth it, and whether or not it'll all pan out. I'm hoping it does, but I can't really say whether or not it's worth it quite yet.
This one right here is for the people.